Hello, I'm Mark. I am the president of the Nevada Northern Railway in Ely, Nevada. We are a National Historic Landmark, and behind me here is Locomotive 250. We repainted this locomotive in celebration of the United States' 250th birthday on July 4th, 2026. And we did that to express our admiration of the American experiment. In fact, the Nevada Northern Railway served the copper mine up at Ruth and the mill and smelter over in McGill. And actually, we tell the story of America here because this was built up by immigrants. And so, in celebration of our story, the unofficial motto for White Pine County is where the world met and became one. We decided to paint this locomotive in a beautiful red, white, and blue paint scheme and then numbered her 250. The history of the locomotive: she was actually built for the Southern Pacific Railroad Company in 1956, and she ran for the Southern Pacific, and then in about the 1970s she was rebuilt by the Southern Pacific, and then she ran, and eventually the SP Southern Pacific sold her into a private company. The copper mine here had shut down, and a new company, BHP, Broken Hills Property, out of Australia, bought the copper mine. They decided to revamp the railroad. They did that in 1991, hauling the copper using this ex-Southern Pacific locomotive.
Originally, the New York and Nevada Copper Company, predecessor to Kennecott, owned the water rights here and planned to construct the mill and smelter on this location. However, due to manipulations by the Guggenheims, a site 10 miles north of town at the McGill Ranch was chosen.
Eventually, BHP quit the railroad business and they donated the locomotive to the Nevada Northern Railway Museum, and they had painted her blue and yellow and numbered her 204. Well, she ran here on 204 for many years, and we decided in celebration of the nation's 250th birthday to have a contest coming up with a patriotic paint scheme in celebration of the 250th anniversary. So we had a nationwide contest, and we chose a winner, and we took his design and painted it on the locomotive. And I think it's incredibly attractive. I actually like how we did the state of Nevada there on the side with the original 13 stars of the flag. It's just a gorgeous locomotive. This locomotive is going to stay in this paint scheme through 2026. Starting about 2027, we're going to repaint Locomotive 250 to Southern Pacific 4422. That's the color and paint scheme she ran here when she first ran here for BHP. And if you're a rail fan, that is the Southern Pacific Bloody Nose paint scheme. And what that means is the nose of the locomotive is red and the rest of the locomotive is gray. and rail fans have nicknamed that the Bloody Nose. So we're going to paint her to the SP colors to document part of her history here on the Nevada Northern Railway. So if you want to see Locomotive 250 in operation, you got to come to the Nevada Northern Railway in Ely, Nevada, sometime between now and the end of 2026, because in 2027, she'll go back to her original Southern Pacific colors of scarlet and gray.
Hi, my name's Angie. I'm the superintendent at the Nevada Northern Railway, and I did the detail work on Locomotive 250. She was repainted for the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence for 2026, and we'll have this paint job for about 2 years before she goes back to her original scheme. So she's got her lettering, and the gentleman who won the competition for this scheme had done a lot of detail work that we had to slightly change just because of the body shape. But our name, the Nevada Northern Railway, state of Nevada, with the 1776 to the 2026 year for the 250-year gap. Her locomotive number and her stars. These stars were a little more difficult because of the placement. It is acrylic urethane paint, so it hardens and dries quickly. And where the stars go into the handrails and over all of the different shapes was a little more difficult. On the front here, where the blue stripes go down with the white star, it doesn't quite line up with the circular pattern. So I had to take the stenciling and cut it to shape and make it look like it was supposed to fit there. On the front, we have our stripes for the colonies and our star, just different aspects of our American flag. And then of course the Nevada Northern Railway's original Safety First logo. So we had a great time with this project, from the contest to the choosing, the judging, everything was just, it was actually very hard to choose because there were so many great designs that came in. I'm very proud to have this railroad that is very patriotic. We're very proud of our beautiful locomotive. It would be amazing if you could come out and see it. She's here for only a couple years with this scheme, and then she'll never have this scheme again, so come on out. Let's go check out the caboose. So all of our trains have a caboose on it, and you can have your private party come in and ride. You can ride in the cupola. You can ride in the captain's seat. Sometimes you get to see the locomotive, sometimes you get to see the track. If the caboose isn't your style, you can go up and ride with the locomotive engineer. Check out all of our experiences at Nevada Northern Railway's website, nnry.com.
Locomotive 250 will be in this paint scheme all the way through to about January of 2027. So between now and then, you need to visit the Nevada Northern Railway here in Ely, Nevada. And with Locomotive 250, you can actually ride the train behind it, or you can ride up in the cab with the engineer, or for a very special treat, you can actually be the engineer of Locomotive 250 on a 14-mile round trip. That's one of our hands-on history programs. So if you want an incredible experience with your hand on the throttle, operating a locomotive celebrating the 250th anniversary of the birth of the United States, there you have it. It's all on our website, nnry.com. And what I'd like you to do is to like this video and subscribe and give us a comment. Are you going to come and visit us? We'd love to hear from you.